Hi, this is Courtney, and I'm here to talk to you about saving money on food. So, I have been very health conscious most of my adult life. Actually, it started when I was about 14. Was diagnosed with pre-diabetes. It was a combination of genetics and my poor diet. I had been a vegetarian, but I was what I would call a cheese and breaditarian, and that was because I had a beef and pork allergy. And so while my family ate pretty healthy because they grew a lot of their own food, it was the dawn of Betty Crocker, and so we were still eating some processed foods. But I kind of got on a kick after that, getting sick at such a young age, and I was passing out a lot, things like that. So I started really researching. I did a lot of nutrition study in college. I ended up going on to teach classes on nutrition for children for the Department of Human Services for a while, and then I worked in the field of early childhood, and I've been a yoga therapist for years, and I work in lifestyle medicine. I am not a nutritionist. I just want to preface that, especially if someone on here who works with me is watching that. Where I work, we have a nutritionist, and that is her responsibility. But I have been working in the field as a volunteer, teaching voluntary simplicity, leading simplicity groups, sustainability groups for years. I have been coached people for financial independence. So if you like this, please click like and subscribe. And my videos are pretty rudimentary. I'm not, the best at videos, but I do like to share ideas. Yesterday I was driving and I looked down and I was eating this Kashi bar and a can of sparkling water, which we know right away, processed foods aren't good for us. But I was in a hurry. My dad was in the hospital. I needed to go check on him. And I thought to myself, I bought those Kashi bars because they were on sale. I normally wouldn't pay full price for them. I'm not going to pay $4 or $5 for a box of 6 granola bars. But they were on sale for like $2.69 or something like that, which is about 40-something cents, less than 50 cents a serving. The canned water, I normally drink filtered water from home because our water is great out here, but I bought some for my school and it was less than 50 cents a serving as well. I started thinking about the cost of this little meal I was having and realized it was like 90 cents. And if I had stopped off at the gas station to buy a granola bar and a bottle of water, I would have spent upwards of $4 or $5. And then I started thinking about how our meals at home and how much money we can save. When people they start saving money and thinking about financial freedom, often they think about what are the big things I can save on cars, houses, mortgages, things like that, or what are large amounts of money. Some people will get a tax return. I haven't been in that category in a while, and they'll go out and they'll spend it or whatever. Well, there are a lot of things you can do every day to save money, and you don't see a dramatic impact right away, but in the long run, even within a month, you can. So if you buy, of course, growing your food and making your own food as much as possible is the most economical. I am not great with plants. My husband is wonderful at growing plants, but I'm not. But I'm a really good cook. So buying things in their most natural form from the grocery store is one of the best things you can do to save money. These are so easy. If you don't want to put them on the stove, you can put them in the microwave with a little water or milk or almond milk and heat them up for about 2 minutes. These are quick oats from the grocery store. And you have a great breakfast. Add some chopped nuts, some fresh fruit, a little honey if you like, and you've got a great high fiber, decent amount of protein breakfast, especially if you put a few nuts on that. It's less than 50 cents. The oats themselves are only like 17 cents a serving. That's freaking amazing. So if you think about this with all its toppings being 50 cents a serving, and let's say you grab this orange here. These oranges were about 30 cents. And then you have some water or coffee. You're still at about $1 or less per meal for breakfast, versus going to McDonald's, which my husband used to do, which I would advocate having the oatmeal at McDonald's or Starbucks at the restaurant over the ham and biscuits. But if you're thinking about saving money, think about this. Oatmeal at McDonald's with a cup of coffee is going to run you upwards of $4 or $5. Oatmeal at Starbucks with a tip is going to run you closer to $7. oatmeal at a restaurant with coffee and a tip is going to probably run you closer to about $12. So just for the sake of getting it, let's say for 1 month you made your oatmeal at home and you had a piece of fruit and you had a cup of coffee and it was $1, versus going to Starbucks every day for $7. That would be 7 times 30 average days in a month. That's $210 versus $1 is $30. Very quickly, you have cut your breakfast budget down by $180 a month. You have saved $180. Think about how many hours you have to work to earn $180. Would you be willing to have that time back in your life and not work that hard, or pay off $180 worth of debt just for not eating breakfast out? That's huge. Think about the little things in your life. Think about if you did this breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 25 days out of the month and were conscientious about your meals out the other 5 days a month, using a mix of coupons, sharing, and eating light at the restaurants. A friend of mine, I did a Simple Living book club last summer, and a friend of mine, I said, I really love to go out to eat with my friends. That's kind of my thing. I love to cut back in other areas, but I enjoy going to meals out. And at the time, a friend of mine was really enjoying going to this restaurant that was just like really expensive. And I loved it too, but I had to say no a lot. So she said what she started doing was she agreed to go out with her friends, but she would just stick to knowing that she was going to have the soup and salad when she went out. And I've kind of started doing that too. I will minimize my going out and do whatever is like the lunch special or the soup and salad if it's quasi-healthy. I don't eat unhealthy just to save money. So, and I find I'm just as satisfied, I have just as much fun, and it saves me like half off the cost of a restaurant meal. So be thinking, use your brain, think about how you're spending your money. You can save a lot of money, pay off debt, have an emergency fund, have more choices, have more fun in your life. Thank you.